Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tom. Thank you for joining me here at 60 miles per hour inside the Bolt EUV. Today is going to be a premiere for this channel, at least, I believe. I can't remember if I've done one of these videos years past, but suffice it to say, for 2023, this is going to be the first one. We're actually heading back home from a job this morning. Got an early start. It's about 9:45 here in South Carolina, and we're cruising down kind of a back road. This is Highway 49, runs east and west through kind of the northwestern part of South Carolina, and we're actually heading to, I haven't decided yet if we're going to go up the actually, let's see what this says, because this will tell me. We're essentially heading, we're going to get on the 385. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're essentially heading up to the Electrify America level 3 charging station that's over here in Greenville, South Carolina. So we're going to actually top up. I currently have about 109 miles on the range estimator, with 89 being the lowest part and 128 being the top part. According to my third display here, I have 45.10% of state of charge on the pack. So we're gonna roll over here and yeah, enjoy the driving footage. Lots of greenery and scenery and everything else, but we're going about 60 or so, plus minus. And actually, let me tell you what the temperatures are real quick here. According to my third display, motor temp's at 142-ish degrees. The transaxle temp, 114.8. Electronics temperature is 87.8. Ambient air is at 71.6, and battery coolant's currently at 75.2. We started out the day with a 69.8 degree pack because it's been warm the last few days, and we're currently running the cooling pump at 50 RPMs. So cool piece of information to have. And we're lifetime charges 18, so we've gone through 18 level 2 charges because we've been charging this thing at home. But because I'm far away from home, and by far I mean I'm probably about 75 or so miles from home, I figure I'm not going to push it with 86 on the minimum side. With my lead foot and adaptive cruise typically set to 5 miles above the speed limit, I don't want to risk any range issues. With that said, let's do it. So as part of this drive, I figured I'd also point out that I'm going to try to get on a road that appears to be mapped by Super Cruise. So we're going to actually give Super Cruise a shot today. I'm actually looking very much forward to it because it's something that stares me in the face every day, and because I don't drive on major freeways much anymore, except when I do road trips, I'm gonna actually go out of my way a little bit today to give it a shot. There are two major freeways. One is the 385 in South Carolina, and the other one's the 85 that runs through South Carolina into Georgia and then up north into North Carolina towards Charlotte. But we'll see if this thing will kick on, if it'll give me an indication that it comes to life, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll check it out. It'll be an interesting experience. So stick around. So just to fill in some context, it's currently just before 10 a.m. and we are about 40 miles or so away from the Electrify America station that we're going to. It's about 70 degrees or so, no wind, pretty calm. The car's driving phenomenally. Adaptive cruise is right on. I am currently set to, actually I'm slowing down to 55 miles per hour, just because we're coming up on a town here. But I'm still heading over to the 385 to get on the major freeway to see Super Cruise in action. But other than that, it's a peaceful morning. I will say that I'm exhausted. in true fashion. That's how I operate. Typically, a lot of my job requires me to either work excessively early or excessively late, sometimes both. I'd say about 90 to 95% of my job requires people to be asleep. It's just the nature of the work. As a computer engineer, if people are using the computer, you're not able to do your job. So during those hours, typically we do all the planning, design work, we schedule stuff out, we do budgets, we do stuff like that, but we typically don't do any of the actual hands-on, stuff while people are awake. It just makes for a much cleaner experience if we can have kind of the keys to the range. It just kind of works out a little bit better that way. But yeah, so this morning started out early. Got an early start. But I was quick enough this morning to remember to bring all the cameras. So I got all three of my cameras with me. And it's I'm kind of grateful that it worked out this way. So anyway, onward. I don't know, I think we're a few miles away from a freeway, but I don't think we're going to get on it. I'm actually using GM's navigation system. One of the problems that I ran into with my phone for Apple CarPlay was either the car or the phone doesn't support the other. I don't know which one's which. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the fact that I'm using a beta operating system on my iPhone just to test all the apps and everything that we use to do our jobs. Testing them on my phone. So a couple of days ago I updated it to the latest beta from Apple, and it bricked CarPlay in the process. So I actually am using the nav that's built into the car, and outside of the 8-bit looking graphics, the map rendering and stuff like that, I feel like the map could use some help. But other than that, it seems to be functioning. I love the fact that it's got a built-in trip planner. It does tell you where the EV charging stations are along your route. So if you put in something, 150 miles away or whatever, it'll give you some charging points either in between or kind of off the beaten path if you have to, depending on how you have it set up. You also pick your networks, which is great. I just turned them all on just to see what's around me, because I've never done DC fast charging here in South Carolina. I figured it would give a little bit more, you know, a little bit more information to decide which way to go and how to head home, because there's tons of ways to get home, but I just wanted to make sure that I picked one where I could, you know, tackle a whole bunch of things at the same time, like Super Cruise and like finding a decent, highly rated Electrify America station that we can review and, you know, talk about and whatever. So yeah, kind of neat, kind of nice. This area of South Carolina is absolutely gorgeous. I am so glad that we moved out this way. The greenery is just absolute perfection. Here we actually are crossing the 26. We're not getting on the 26, although that is a road that is supposedly mapped. But still, we are carrying forward. I just got cut off by a pickup truck towing a trailer. And Adaptive Cruise did a really good job at regenning me down to about 40 miles per hour. And I'm going to reset Adaptive Cruise to 50 miles per hour. It's a 45 zone, so we should be good to go. But anyway, have a look around. Like, driving through these, you know, mountain roads, it's so quiet out here. You know, if you pull over and you roll your windows down, it's like being at a I don't know, some kind of a Zen retreat. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. The smells in the air, some of the trees and plants are starting to come back to life. I know my yard was filled with these purple flowers that give off this the smell. I thought it was lavender, but it's not. Something different. And I'm not a green thumb guy, so don't ask me for any more descriptions about plants and trees and bushes than I can give. I can tell you they're green and they smell good. That's about all you're gonna get from me. But anyway, going back to this, you know, it is so unreal. Some of these streets and some of these roads that are just going through the middle of the forest are so just amazing, and, you know, really well maintained. One of the things that I noticed, and you can probably tell from the hood camera, it is super clean. You know, I'm used to places being littered with trash. You know, I mean, there's some paper and plastic bags that probably blew out of people's truck beds or something, but it's not, you know, extreme. There isn't like a giant trash bag filled with who knows what, like Goodwill donations or whatnot on the side of the road. And also, there's no couches on the side of the road. That was one thing that was really popular in Los Angeles, was the amount of furniture that you had scattered on the freeway. So, all right, we're about 35 miles away, about a half hour to go. And, yeah, I'll see you when we get there. Guess what? It works. The car's driving itself. I don't think I've ever been excited for anything like this ever before. I'm literally speechless. It's green and it's going. It is literally, wow, it's really a surreal experience. I'm just gonna keep my hands here and see what we do. I took off my sunglasses because I know the little sensor on the steering wheel column relies on your eyeballs looking out the front, and I didn't want to mess up my first experience in any way, shape, or form. But I will tell you that we're going 70 miles per hour. It's a 70 mile per hour speed limit. I didn't want to overdo it with the speed on the freeway, just because, you know, the range is, I'm down to about 70 miles. Oh, it's blinking at me. I guess I twisted my head the wrong way. But it resumed really quickly. I am impressed by this technology. It's literally going around turns and everything. I'll probably put up a side-by-side between the camera that's over my right shoulder and the hood cam, so you guys can see that the wheel's just kind of turning on its own. And oh man, what an experience. This is so awesome. Let me put my sunglasses back on and see what happens. Still happy. Yeah, it's going. Just for reference and context, we are on the Veterans Memorial Highway, also known as the Interstate 385. We're heading north, and we're going. This is working great. Holy goodness. Oh man, I can get used to this. I really can. I think this literally just made my week. Something so simple. Well, there's nothing simple about Super Cruise, but like a feature like this in a vehicle makes road tripping that much easier. I'm in a comfortable neutral position. Actually, I got my legs crossed, you know, because I don't need to deal with the pedals. And wow, it's actually going. I'm thrilled. I'm actually going to take these off because I don't really need them right now. The sun's behind me. But yeah, awesome. I am about 25 minutes from the Electrify America station. The DIC tells me I have 34.12% state of charge. I'm using climate control, by the way. I didn't specify that. I have it set to 68 degrees manual. One of the things I like to do is I like to use recirculate, because when you're on freeways and stuff like that, I don't want the smell of you know, diesel or burning oil. One of the things around the South is you get a lot of busted vehicles on the road. It'd be nice if they did inspections here, because there'd be a lot of less pollution coming out of cars and stuff. Wow, this is fantastic. 70 miles per hour. I think the car's doing a better job than I could ever do in terms of keeping it centered. I am so stoked. This is fantastic. I think this alone is worth the price of the vehicle. If this is the only option you get, it's definitely worth it. Especially if you find yourself on the road a lot. I'm speechless. This is great. Oh man, what an experience. You know, when I was a kid, I used to watch David Hasselhoff in Knight Rider. One of my favorite shows. You know, a car could do anything, and maybe in some ways psychologically it's the reason why I love black cars. So, you know, I got a black Bolt EUV. But the car's driving itself. There's technology in this car that allows it to do some of the things that, you know, were thought of in the 80s. This is so great. I know it might sound silly to some, but for me, this is huge. I mean, I literally got my hands on my knees, holding the remote control to the camera, and I'm just like, yeah. Oh, and it anticipated a car coming in front of us. it didn't cut in, so it didn't slow down, but it got close to the line. It's interesting. What an experience. I was passed by a vehicle. The vehicle drifted close to the lane divider, and in that split second, I felt Super Cruise just kind of slowed down. Like, I felt the inertial tug of slowing down, and the car never cut over. It just recentered itself in its lane. So Super Cruise resumed at the speed that I had set. And I'm noticing that it's slowing down now. I'm at 64 miles per hour with a truck in front of me. So I may have to do a lane change and see how it reacts. I try to cruise in the right lane just to let people pass and stuff, but not always. There's, I have my days when I'm on a mission. All right, let's go. Let's have a look and see how this thing takes the lane change. So I'm going to signal. Okay, it's flashing blue. The steering wheel is flashing blue. And I guess I need to hold it until it figures itself out. And now it's green again. So, okay, learning lesson there. If you change your lanes, Super Cruise goes into blue, it flashes blue, and you have to hold on to the wheel until it turns green again. So, good to know. In fact, I'm going to do it again. Now that I passed that truck, I'm going to go back into the right lane. Okay, it's flashing blue. In the lane, I'm still holding the wheel. And it's green again. You know what? I can deal with that. I like that. Because it still leaves me in control. And it doesn't force me to surrender my will to the car, essentially. Because I don't need it changing lanes. I don't need it making decisions for me. If I want to pass a vehicle, I'm going to pass a vehicle. And I don't know if any of those, like the automatic self-driving, the autopilots from Tesla and stuff like that, I don't know if you can tune settings in a Tesla that allows you to turn off some of that stuff, where you can tell it, okay, I want you to drive for me, but don't change lanes. I want to do that. I want to have control. I don't know. I can see that being an issue with people who have control issues. And sometimes I'm that person too, so no problem. Actually, I'm going to step on the brake, because there's a semi. I couldn't get out of the semi's way, but I didn't want to creep up on him. So let me change lanes. When I hit the brake, you heard that beep. It actually turned off Super Cruise, but I do have the indicator on the dash to turn it back on, so we're going to push the button, and boom, we're back up. It's increasing speed to 70 miles per hour. Give you guys an update. We're about 19 miles away with a 30% state of charge on the DIC. Yeah, everything looks good. Temperatures appear good. I actually have no idea what the maximum temperature ranges are for some of the drivetrain. The motor temp right now is reading 176 degrees, but I assume if it was too high, the car would throttle me back. This is fantastic. Oh boy, how awesome is this? Like, I could sit here, literally stare out this window, enjoy the scenery, and get to where I need to go without having to focus on the road and any of that. Still have to focus on what's around you. So you got to know all the cars behind you and everything. But this is fantastic. I love this. I think this is my new favorite thing. Boy, how crazy is this? Oh, I just got passed by an F-150 going about 90. I don't know why people do that, because there's semi-trucks and trailers that don't allow you to go 90. They slow you down. But whatever, I'm kind of thrilled. And by kind of, I mean excessively thrilled. Boy, this is so awesome. It's so beautiful. I hope you guys are enjoying the scenery. It's really nice. We're 16 miles out on the 385 north. We're rocking Super Cruise, and it's flawless. It literally, you know, I just noticed that it oversteered a little bit, and then it corrected itself. You know, it's a really good system. I'm really thrilled. Like, and I actually, you know, I thought for a minute that I would be all paranoid and like, oh my God, it's not safe, or I don't feel safe. Totally not the case. I think I'm nerding out right now, but super geek mode in my head. So actually what I am going to do is I'm being passed on the right, which I don't like. So I'm going to get, as soon as this car passes me, I'm going to get back into the right-hand lane. I don't need to be in the left-hand lane. So, okay. I love when people do that. Pass and then stop right, like, on your corner. He could easily go in front of me. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm too happy. You can't ruin my mood. Super Cruise for the win, folks. Super Cruise for the win. My trip so far, I'm 43 miles down with 15 miles to go to get a charge. We're probably going to fill up, I don't know. We'll see how the station does. We'll see how the charging curves go. We'll see if there's any, we'll figure it out when we get there. We'll use the map and stuff and figure out what our distances are. But I'm feeling better and better about this. Oh, I love the uphill acceleration of the Bolt EUV. In Super Cruise, you probably heard that Cummins over there struggling. No problem for electric. Primo. Oh boy, what a rush. So let me grab the wheel, turning signal, and make the right into the lane. It's flashing blue. Let it reestablish. And it's green again. Boy, what an experience. And what's nice about it is if you have issues like I do with focus and just general mental clarity, you know, some days are worse, some days are good. Today's one of those days where it's not bad. I have a hard time reading signs, and I have been known to miss exits, and I have been known to, you know, kind of veer off track and not know where I am, and then I'm kind of like upset or whatever because I feel like I let myself down. It's all up here, you know. I don't necessarily believe that, but I feel it sometimes. And I feel over the last few miles, I think I've read every sign that we passed, because I'm no longer devoting focus to where I am in the lane, how fast I'm going, with regard to, you know, if I'm not using cruise control or whatever. This is kind of nice because my speed is set to 70. The speed limit is 65 here, and I'm going 57 because there's some traffic ahead of us that's going slower. And I don't have to think about it. I'm also maintaining a safe distance between the cars in front of me, so if there's an issue, it'll give me a chance to snap out of it. Also, this system forces you to look ahead. So you're looking in real time what's ahead of you, and you can easily grab the wheel, make an adjustment, slam on the brakes, whatever, you know, in terms of safety. I'm not going to test this car's way of handling, you know, other vehicles cutting off or whatever. I'm not going to test its safety systems, like all the collision stuff that it has. I'm not gonna test any of that. But suffice it to say, acceleration and deceleration are smooth. The distance between the car in front of me is actually quite good. I would say you could probably fit 5 or 6 cars in between us. And now the car actually went into the right lane. There's 3 lanes now instead of 2 like it was back there. And it's actually handling it quite nice. We're regenning right now at 10 kilowatts because this car got in front of us. I think this whole entire experience is amazing right now. And it's working. Like, I feel like this is a huge accomplishment for the automotive industry as a whole. I think every vehicle should have this for a variety of reasons. You know, safety, convenience, but more than anything, safety. Like, I would write this off as you're eliminating the human element. You're not forcing, you're not, I guess, testing the limits of what the human mind can do. Because everybody's different, everybody's brain's different, you know. It is what it is. You know, to that note, I'm also the guy that believes that cars should be smart enough to not start or not drive if they can detect that you're impaired, whether, you know, under alcohol or drugs or whatever. You know, I believe personally that a lot of lives would be saved every year if, you know, if you maintain some kind of, I don't know, I guess in some ways I can see it in my mind saving lives, which makes sense because you're not going to have that level of impairedness on the road, right? Because at that level you can't decide, you can't make that decision. But yeah, I don't know. I also feel like cars should automatically keep distance like what we have here between us and this I guess it's like a reddish copper color car in front of us. I feel like even if I should stand on the gas right now, the car should tell me nope, and that would eliminate, you know, the rear ending, the, you know, the accidents that happen from people that drive up on your bumper and then something happens, you have to hit your brakes, and then you have a car in your trunk for no other reason than because the guy could, or the person behind you could. So this is great. Wow. So we're at 25% state of charge. Well, 25.49% with about 7 miles to go. So I love it. I didn't mean to give a review of Super Cruise, but I think this is great. This is so great. Boy, these clouds are coming in now. every few miles it's super bright and you're like squinting, and then this thing's flipping out. It's like, hey, give me your eyeball. Well, here's my eyeball. And other times, of course, it's too dark to wear sunglasses. So, but yeah, you guys are watching this in real time with me. This is the first experience for me with any automated sort of driving. I've never, I've test driven Teslas before, but this was years ago. I test drove one of the first Model S's. That was almost a decade ago, and realized early on that I would probably never be able to afford a Tesla. But be that as it is, here we are. I think in some ways Tesla pioneered a lot of the technology, and I think what they did allowed the rest of the manufacturers to kind of be, I wouldn't say pressured, but maybe convinced that it was a technology that was useful and would certainly do a lot of good. And I think this is so good. So good. I mean, this literally is doing everything that I would have to do right now. If I wasn't talking to the camera, I would just be like in a whole nother world, like, where am I? I would probably miss every exit because, of course, the car wouldn't know where I'm going. It's just following the road. But I think for a weekday drive, like today's Friday, I think it's a great day. I think it's a great everything. Like right now, I'm so pleased. I'm so happy. Yeah. So, all right. That's enough of me yapping. I'll see you guys at Electrify America. All right, so we got off the highway and we're actually here. We're about to pull into this parking lot. Lots of cars here, pretty heavy traffic, but this is a pretty major city here in South Carolina, so I'm not surprised. But I am really, really pleased with the way this drive went down. So let's see if we can get in here. Okay. I don't like turning on yellow because some people like to jump the gun or run a red light and bad things happen. So let's see if we can find this Electrify America station. I'm assuming it's going to be near the Sam's Club because these things typically pop up around Walmarts and Sam's Clubs. So let's see what we got here. Krispy Kreme. The fat guy just jumped out of me. Like, woo, Krispy Kreme. Okay, I see the Sam's Club gas station, and I don't see. Oh, I do see. And they look brand new. Let's get over there. Those look like brand new cabinets. Let's see what we got. Oh, no. It's the same ones that... No, there's some new ones. I think there's one old one. And I don't know. When I get out, I'll grab the camera and we'll walk around the... We'll walk around the Charger here. I need to get... Actually, this way. I'm going to do something I don't like doing here. And that is to go down across some lanes. So, oh, we have an R1T charging. Beautiful green Rivian. Wow. I see a Kia and I see a Mustang Mach-E. So, I'm going to actually take up the spot right here. Alrighty, here we are at the Electrify America station, right at the Sam's Club. There it is, Sam's Club. here in Greenville, South Carolina. The station is currently 100% occupied. I have a feeling that there may be some troubles for the Mach-E that's over here. I keep seeing the driver walking around the car. I may offer to give him a hand here in a minute, but the R1T charging, the Kia charging, and then there's us also charging. We have about, I don't know, 55 minutes to get up to 80%. And as far as I can tell, these are, you know, relatively new units. I want to look at these. So I'm actually plugged into a 350 kilowatt stall here. So this is a model HDP 350K dispenser. This will output between 150 to 920 volts DC, maximum 500 amps, maximum 350 kilowatts, obviously. Pretty cool. Manufacturing date May 20th of 2022. Really nice. I like these. This is a Signet unit. So I'm feeling it. It's very noisy. It's actually not as noisy as those ones are, but it's really nice. Working out well. All right, so I just quickly wanted to show this to you guys because I'm already at, I think I'm already at 70. Yeah, I'm almost at 75%. The DIC says 74.12 percent state of charge. So this charge is moving along. I've been here for about 43 minutes, and I haven't even stepped out of the car really to look at much of anything. I do know that there isn't much to do around here. There's a Sam's Club, you know, right there. There's a Staples behind me, and I think there's a Walmart back there too somewhere. But I wanted to quickly point out this feature of the Electrify America app, because it actually tells you like real-time charging statistics, you know, in the app. Like so up here it tells you what the time was that it refreshed, and you can kind of see that. It's kind of nice to have that, because if you walk away from the car, you can kind of see what your car's doing, and then you can also, you know, stop the charge when you're ready to go. So I'm going to go at 80% just because that's how we roll. I did notice that the Electrify America Pass Plus rate with the $4 a month payment to Electrify America is 31 cents per kilowatt hour, which I think is a pretty decent savings. I think that's like 13, 14, 15 cents off the price. So if you figure how much time you spend or how many kilowatt hours you're putting into the car, you can see that the $4 a month will pay for itself within you know, a handful of charging stations, if not less. So cool. I thought I'd share that. All right, so the charging session completed at I had the 80% limit up, so it looked like it got all the way up to 78.04 percent. So that kind of jives with what's here. So we're gonna go unplug because it says charge complete. All right. I think it's been way too long since I've walked into a Chick-fil-A, and outside of the the usual Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Did you guys know that they now serve mac and cheese? Had to get it, because mac and cheese, that's comfort food right there. Anyway, I'm gonna pound this down and then we're gonna head home. See you guys later. All right, everybody, we made it home. It's been a long trip. I think about 160 miles got put on the car today, which is really nice. She's plugged in, level 2. I think it was down to about, I don't know, 43% state of charge when I pulled in. And I plugged it into my level 2 right here. And she'll be charged up by 6 p.m. tonight. You know, I came across an interesting little thought. Right after I plugged it in, I realized I wondered if we have different rates for nighttime, daytime, peak time usage, summer rates versus winter rates, etc., etc. In California, there were, I think, 6 different rates for 2 different seasons, like a hot season, a cold season. I don't know what the case is here. I looked it up. And the utility on their website only lists 11 cents per kilowatt hour. So 11's not bad. I think in some places it's 13, but I think that might be business. I don't know. So suffice it to say, I'm back home. I'm going to edit this video that you're watching. I already offloaded the footage. I have one more camera in there that I got to pull out and take in, so I thought I'd just close out this video. I wanted to thank all of you guys for you know, being there and watching our videos, and you know, commenting and liking, and all the new subscribers that have joined our little community. Really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. All of you guys make all of this content possible. It kind of fuels the engine that drives the content. So on behalf of the Bolt EUV and myself, I thank you for watching. Have a good one and a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.